Most people will spend more energy avoiding hard work than it would take to actually do it. Think about that for a second. They will lie to themselves. They will create elaborate excuses. They will redesign their entire day just to dodge 20 minutes of discomfort. And the strangest part is they do not even realize they are doing it. This is not about laziness. This is about something far more dangerous hidden deep inside the human mind. Your brain was not designed to make you successful. It was designed to keep you alive. And there is a massive difference between those two things. Hard work signals danger to your nervous system. It demands energy. It creates uncertainty. It pushes you into the unknown. And the unknown to your primitive brain equals threat. So what does your mind do? It protects you. It whispers that you are too tired. It convinces you that tomorrow is a better day to start. It tells you that this task is not really that important. And you believe it because it feels true. Here's a simple example. Imagine someone wants to build a side business. They buy the domain. They sketch out ideas. They watch videos on how to start. But when it is time to make the first sales call or write the first piece of content, they suddenly remember they need to research more or organize their desk or update their software. They stay busy, but they avoid the one thing that actually moves the needle. Why? Because the real work feels heavy. It exposes them. It might reveal that they are not as ready as they thought. And the brain hates that feeling. So it reroutes them into safe, fake productivity. This is not weakness. This is biology. But the people who win are the ones who recognize the trick and do the work anyway. Here is a truth most people never consider. Doing hard work does not just change your schedule. It changes who you are. And that is terrifying. Because deep down, people are more afraid of losing their identity than they are of staying stuck. Let me explain with a story. There was a man named Daniel, a graphic designer in his mid-30s. For years, he told himself he was creative, laid back, and not the corporate type. That was his identity. He wore it like armor. But inside, he was frustrated. He was not earning enough. He was not growing. He was not respected in his field. One day, a friend told him about a high-level certification program. It was intense. 6 months of rigorous study, daily practice, brutal feedback sessions. Daniel knew it would transform his career, but he never signed up. Why? Because succeeding in that program would mean he was no longer the laid-back creative guy. It would mean he was disciplined, structured, serious, and that felt like betraying himself. So he stayed where he was. He convinced himself the certification was not really his style. He told himself real artists do not need credentials. And year after year, he watched others pass him by. This is the hidden cost of avoiding hard work. It is not just about missing opportunities. It is about clinging to a version of yourself that keeps you small. Hard work forces you to evolve, and evolution feels like loss before it feels like gain. Most people choose the comfort of who they have always been over the uncertainty of who they could become. And that choice, repeated daily, becomes a life half-lived. There is a belief running silently in the minds of millions. It goes like this. Hard work is for people who are not naturally talented. If I have to grind, it means I am not good enough. If it does not come easy, maybe it is not meant for me. This belief is poison, and it has destroyed more potential than any external obstacle ever could. Look at someone like Kobe Bryant. He was already gifted, already physically elite, already in the NBA. But he became legendary because he outworked everyone. He practiced shots other players would never attempt. He studied film until 3 in the morning. He trained on days off. He did not avoid hard work because he was talented. He used hard work to multiply his talent. But here's what most people miss. Kobe did not start out loving hard work. In interviews, he admitted that the grind was brutal. The early mornings hurt. The repetition was mind-numbing. But he understood something critical. Hard work was not a punishment for lacking talent. It was the only path to greatness. And he chose that path every single day. Ordinary people avoid hard work because they think it means they are lacking something. They see effort as evidence of inadequacy. So they quit before they even begin. They tell themselves if they were really meant to do this, it would not be so hard. They romanticize the idea of effortless success. They wait for the moment when it all clicks. But that moment never comes because growth does not happen in comfort. It happens in the fire. And only those willing to burn come out transformed. The people at the top are not there because things were easy. They are there because they did not let difficulty become a reason to stop. So here's the truth. They do not tell you. Hard work is not the opposite of talent. It is not the backup plan. It is the reveal. It shows you who you really are beneath the excuses and the fear. and the stories you have been telling yourself for years. Every time you choose the hard path, you are voting for a different version of yourself. You are saying, I am the kind of person who does not run when it gets uncomfortable. And that vote counts. That decision compounds. One hard choice leads to another. And over time, those choices build a person that ordinary minds cannot even imagine. But here's the dark side. Every time you avoid the work, you are also voting. You are saying, I am the kind of person who gives up when it is hard. And that vote counts too. It shapes your identity. It becomes your pattern. And before you know it, avoidance is not just a habit. It is who you are. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is not talent. It is not luck. It is the willingness to do what feels impossible until it becomes normal. So ask yourself this. What hard thing have you been avoiding? What task sits in the back of your mind, whispering that it is too much, too difficult, too uncertain? That is not a warning. That is an invitation. That is your mind showing you exactly where your next level is. Ordinary people avoid hard work because they think it will break them. But the truth is the opposite. Hard work does not break you. It builds you one painful rep at a time, one uncomfortable conversation at a time, one decision at a time. And maybe you will not see the results today, maybe not even this month. But one day, you will look back and realize that the person you are now could not have existed without the work you did not want to do. That is the hidden gift. That is the secret. Hard work does not just change your life. It changes who you are. And that is the only change that truly lasts. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is whether you are willing. And that answer will determine everything.